Hello everyone and welcome back to Erebos Gaming. We've got some Dynasty Warriors 8 here for you, and as you can see I'll be playing as the WEI's leader, Cao Cao, with two standard 4-star weapons. And this is the Battle of Wan Castle. A lot of traitorous betrayal, and a lot of good men die on Cao Cao's side. And this battle was quite difficult as well, because I play Cao Cao, he's got his moves, but I don't know, it's a bit slow in certain areas and it makes it difficult to use. So the history behind this battle, well, what it shows you is a cutscene right at the beginning where Zhang Ziu, I think is the betrayer's name, offers Cao Cao to come to his castle, starts talking, and all of a sudden, boom, ambush. And from what I've read, this battle takes quite a toll on Cao Cao's armies. Well, I won't say army, I'd say commanders. As you can see, DW8 is here with me, and unfortunately, this is where DW8 dies in historic. But what you'll see is that there is bonus stars where you can stop him from dying. And I think there is a cutscene there as well that, you know, shows him getting attacked, but he manages to hold back quite a lot of forces until he eventually dies. And when the news does get to Cao Cao, apparently Cao Cao sheds a little tear for him as well. So this is his rage attack. I'm going to use it against Han Xian, but I'm not going to kill him, because I died several times in this, so I know what's coming, so I'm just going to wipe out the unit commanders. His rage is pretty good, nice speed on it, a lot of damage. Basically has like a shadow of himself in front attacking, which is pretty cool. Right, and I'm going to speed through this bit as well because it's not really exciting. All I'm doing here is building up my rage for the next bit, because there's a load of unit commanders, no enemy officers at all, so it makes it quite difficult. And to move on you have to take out this enemy officer and all these fire statues. Once you take these out, you come into another area, which is another ambush attack, and there's about 5 unit commanders. You need to wipe them out, and then you can move on to the next area, which is all wind controlled. And it's very difficult to fight against these guys, because the unit commanders, albeit are a pain in the arse, they are quite strong, and because they don't have any weakness to affinities, they become quite difficult to fight, especially when you get a load of them. So I'm just using this enemy officer to build up my stats before I move on. Also in this battle you have an option to save Cao Cao's cousin and brother, I think that's Cao Amin and Cao... I can't remember the other one, it'll pop up soon. In Chaos, at this level it is virtually impossible, because as soon as you break through the doors they die pretty fast. And I've tried my best to try and get to them. I think I saved one of them beforehand, but I couldn't save the other one. So I just didn't even bother attempting it, because when you go and you can't try and get them, there's other enemy officers as well, which just makes it more difficult for me. So this area, like I say, you get an ambush here, and the objective in this area is to take out all the unit commanders. So I'm just waiting for them all to build up, and build up the little bit of rage that I need, just using the 3 square triangle attack, which knocks them all out. It's a good crowd clearer. And as you can see, I'm just wiping them all out here. I can take them all out and then kind of move on to the next area. The next area is pretty simple. You just move up here, take out the ballistae, and there's one enemy officer right at the top with a couple of unit commanders around. So wipe out these. There's another 2 in here. Take these out. As you can see, the enemy officer there is weak to my affinity. I do like Cao Cao's blizzard attacks, they're pretty cool. Albeit they're not very strong, and his movesos are pretty pathetic, to be honest. There's no real strength in them at all. They're good for area defense, but they don't really do much damage. His swift attack, on the other hand, is brilliant. Really good. That's his alternate moveso where he uses his sword. Weak, does the job, gets rid of enemies for you. This is his normal moveso attack, just sends a lot of blizzard attacks there, and this is his jumping one. Again, just sends a lot of blizzard spikes down there, ice spikes, whatever you want to call them. So we're nearly taking out this enemy officer, Yang Feng. There we go again, we'll take him out. Easy peasy. Move on to the next area, ignoring the unit commanders. As you can see, there's wind here and it catches me right at the beginning, but if you just stay a little bit further back you can normally do it, wait for it to disappear and then go straight forward. Then you have to take out the unit commander at the gate. Once you take the unit commander out at the gate you can go off and run for your 2 officers. Unfortunately at this point you can see that it's so difficult trying to take out this unit commander that it takes so long that they end up dying as soon as I open the door. There, Cao Cao, I believe, and Cao Ang. They're related to Cao. I can't remember what relation. I think it's one of them's a cousin and one of them's a brother. So I do try and go for them, but as you can see they're already dead. So take out the Ballistae. There's one enemy officer here. Once I take out this enemy officer, it'll open the gates and things start looking a bit more positive for Cao's side, I have to say. So yeah, this battle is quite brutal. As you can see, there's a massive ambush attack. The Zhang Zhu, who's in charge of it, he sets fire to half his castle to try and kill Cao, but yet it still unfortunately doesn't manage to do it. And at this point, this is where DW8 stops the troops coming after us, gives us a bit of leeway, but eventually he does die in the historical side of it. And then obviously, as you saw, the Cao Ang and Cao Amin, they both die. They do escape with you historically, but they stay behind, bravely trying to stop the forces trying to kill Cao, and unfortunately they both meet their demise as well. So you can see Guo Jia has come, and as I take out Zhou Ling, you can see my forces are moving up quite nicely from the south side of the map. And yet there's more ambushes to come. This is quite a strategic battle from the enemy's point of view. They do think quite hard into this, and to be honest, I'm surprised that we managed to escape. Even the beginning bit, there were so many enemies there. I mean, DW8 must be a proper beast. From what I've read, he seems to own absolutely everything, which is pretty good. We definitely need somebody like that, and he was Cao's personal bodyguard as well. So Cao chose quite nicely. So we're just taking out Yang Ding there. See if we can get rid of some of the unit commanders as well. Unfortunately we couldn't. And you can see the 2 enemy officers that were attacking Cao Amin and Cao Ang have now joined the fight as well. So I'm going to take these 2 out. And Guo Jia is saying let's scout out, see what's going on. Unfortunately I need to take these 2 out before I can do that. So I'll just rage these, get rid of these pretty fast. So this is all time based as well, you need to be pretty fast at doing this. And obviously on Chaos it slows you down a bit. So we've got Liu Zhu there, he's gone. Let's see if we can switch around and get the other enemy officer. Unfortunately not, there he is. Li Yu. Yeah, Li Yu. I'll take this guy out as well. So what do you guys think of Cao then? He's alright to play with, he's different, but I just couldn't get along with him. I was expecting him to be a lot easier to control since he's, you know, the leader of WEI. But unfortunately, he has some good bits, but the majority are pretty terrible. His attacks are weak, they're not very good for area effect. Obviously if you added on the ability that, I think it's Havoc, which expands your attack range, that might help. But I wasn't a major fan of him. There's a lot more WEI officers out there that are much better than this guy. So as you can see, these 3 areas here, we've got Zhang Yun, he was preparing an ambush attack. So what they're trying to do here is wait for us to attack the castle and then to basically do a pincer attack behind us where they open the castle gates. Their forces come out, but the forces that are hiding come from behind and take us out. Fortunately we're not dumb, and we realised that something like this was going on, so we've wiped out the first one. We're going to the second one now, and as you can see there'll be more forces here that appear. This time we've got Huo Jun. I think we only just managed to do this. You see I'm in red life now, this is not very good. Use this attack to freeze them and then we'll trigger the Swift. Well, that was the plan anyway, it doesn't exactly work. It's the unit commanders that are a pain in the arse on this one. enemy officers, at least you can control how you fight them with the affinity system, but unit commanders are actually pretty difficult to deal with. This is taking so long. I've got one more base to try and do. Yeah, you see our ambush troops are now replacing them, which is pretty good. And this is probably one of the only times where you can leave your forces and they will win. We took him out? No, he's nearly dead. I don't even like his jumping tower, he spins his sword as well. Different, yeah, but it's nice, right? So I've taken out that enemy officer, we're moving to this one very fast. And we're not going to waste any time with Su Fei at all. We're going to wipe him out as quickly as possible before the backup forces come. I think we just trigger this just in time. If this didn't work, basically hit Shitsville. So we got there wiped out. As you can see, straight away ambush attack. Fortunately, we just pulled it off. It would have been quite nasty for Cao Cao's forces if I didn't manage to pull that off. There you go, you can see the strategy in place. So I just leave them to it because they managed to wipe them out very successfully. So I move straight on to Zhangquan with Xiahou Dun and Zushu. And the Amway in the background there. And nearly got away. There we go. He's down. So the next step really is to move straight up to Zhai Zhu, I think his name is. Becomes part of us after we've obviously wiped out their leader, Zhang Ziu. He's guarding like a pussy. Bye bye. Oh no, missed him completely. Lovely. Okay, well, there he is anyway. He's gone. He's out right there. So we just have a shed load of mobile unit captains and enemies before we attempt to take on the final enemy. So we'll build up his rage, which we've already done. So a couple of Muso attacks. Probably just going to get some low kills here, to be honest. Some nice easy kills, build my leveling up a bit. Yeah, so we'll run past all these, we'll take out those air blasts. And there he is, Jaizu. We'll finish him off with a good old rage finish. There we go. He's gone. Hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you on the next episode.